नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
So I request Nitra from Tamil Nadu. Please don't unmute children. Please don't unmute yourself. It will be great. Yeah, Nitra from Tamil Nadu. Can you hear me? Hello, Nitra.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
hello, sir.
Please proceed with the welcome speech.
The future lies with today's kids and tomorrow's space exploration. With this special quote on the special program, extend my cheerful welcome to our Honorable Chief Guest, Sanjay Rajgopal Sir, Honorable Guest, Ms. Saraswati Ma'am, and Speaker of this program, Mr. Raghuram Sir, and Master of Ceremony, Ms. Pratiksha Dixit Ma'am, and host of this program and founder of IDYM Foundation, Engineer Ravishankar Kumar Sir, and to all the participants who make this program a unique one. Today, we are all here for space exploration program conducted by IDYM Foundation, and we are proud to have this in this beautiful state, Karnataka, with all of you. IDYM Foundation is a journey to inspire, innovate, and discover. We have completed 100+ space exploration program all over the world and have created new records in our performances. In today's gathering, we are going to explore basic details of satellites, importance of space technology, and story of Pratham satellite. Without taking time, let's start our program and explore more with IDYM Foundation. So thank you all, and once again a warm welcome all of you.
Thank you, Netra. Thank you so much. Yes, the session will be addressed by Wing Commander Sanjay Rajgopal sir, and he is going to take the complete session. And sir will be talking regarding different parameters, how a country can improve. Sir is really amazing a speaker. I don't have word for him. I don't have word in my dictionary to say about him. He has a study from IIT and he has done his MBA from IIM. So you can see IIT is the India Brilliant Institute and IIM is the another Brilliant Institute. So he is there with us. It's a very great moment for me and as well as all the students of Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka. So really welcome you, sir. And please, I request you to please talk with the student.
Thank you.
Dear children, please keep mic muted. Dipti Bhadoria, please mute yourself. Pankaj, please mute yourself. Except Wing Commander, sir, no one should unmute the mic. Veer Asti, please mute yourself. Veer Asti, Pankaj, mute yourself. Pankaj, mute yourself. Pankaj, before you remove you from the waiting, mute yourself. Last warning to you. One second, sir. Yeah, please proceed, sir. I will take care of it. Please proceed.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir. Please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you. A very, very nice and pleasant good morning to all of you children and all the other participants who have joined this program. I would once again request all those people who are not muted to kindly mute your mics so that the program can go on a little more smoothly. Right. So I understand we have got some children from Karnataka as well as Madhya Pradesh. But these are two states which are very close to my heart. I grew up in Madhya Pradesh and I did my basic training in the Indian Air Force in Bangalore of Karnataka. So Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh, yeah, I'm very happy today that I'm addressing the children from these two states. Good. So let's get ahead. I don't want to waste too much of time. I must thank Netra for those nice words that she injected at the beginning of the program. And also I would like to thank the IDYM Foundation, Engineer Ravi Shankar for giving this opportunity. Let's get ahead. Right, so I will talk a bit about space exploration. Now, this is not going to be a lecture, so I would like you all to participate also. Right, so we'll start with a small quiz. Let's see who all are, children from Karnataka are good or children from Madhya Pradesh are good. This is the first question for you. Can you solve this? If you can, then unmute and give me the answers. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
How much? What's the answer?
24.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Please mute yourself. The answer is 24. Great. Please mute yourself. Great. So we'll go to the next question. Let's see. Now, this is another question. I don't know whether you're able to see this. Right? So this is a car parking area, and you can see one of the cars parked in one of the slots. Just wanted you to tell me which is that slot number. So the first slot is, I think, 16, and then 06 and
87.
87.
87.
Okay.
Answer
Okay,
is
great.
87.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, good. So these answers are coming from Karnataka or Madhya Pradesh?
Madhya Pradesh, 87 answer.
I'm so proud of you, my child. Okay, let me listen to the next answer. Name the first Indian astronaut. The first person, first Indian to go into the space. Now, this is a space exploration program, so I would expect some of you at least to know this name. Anybody?
Rakesh Sharma.
Rakesh Sharma.
Wow.
Rakesh
Very good.
Sharma is the right answer. Rakesh Sharma is the right answer.
Oh, good. So you are giving the answer, or you are conducting the quiz. You are becoming a quiz master. Excellent. But I would like to add something. No, we should not say Rakesh Sharma. No, he happens to be an Indian Air Force officer. When he went to the space, he had a rank of squadron leader. And we generally have a habit of saying squadron leader Rakesh Sharma. That is one way of giving some respect to the military officer, right? So he flew on board Soyuz T-11 on 3rd April 1984. Excellent. Let's go to the next question, and I think this is going to be the last question. Who is the current chairman of Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO?
K. Shivan.
Okay, good.
Vikram Sarabhai.
Vikram Sarabhai, K. Shivan. Excellent. Okay, let's go to the answer. The answer is Dr. K. Shivan. Now, why did I say doctor? Now, this man did not earn that degree of doctorate just to put it in his name. This is how we give respect to the people who have done something in their life. So rather than saying K. Shivan, children, it would be a nice thing to call him Dr. K. Shivan. Okay, good. Let's get ahead. This is a slightly complicated quiz, so let's leave it. I will start with a small story about the book called October Sky. Now, I wrote October Sky, and on the right side, I put the picture of that book, and it's Rocket Boys. You see any similarity between October Sky and Rocket Boys? Right. So, October Sky is an anagram of Rocket Boys. Now, Homer Hickam, when he first wrote this book, he published it as Rocket Boys, and then he found an anagram. Anagram means with the same letters, ROCKETBOYS. When you rearrange, you get the word October Sky. And then October Sky also became a very famous movie. Why am I talking about this book? There's a purpose. Let's see. The World War II ended in 1945. Now, I'm a person who has got soldierly habits into my DNA, in my blood. So whenever I speak about military affairs, warfare. So just an example, World War II. Now, this ended in 1945. If you all know that there was an Axis power and the Allied powers, and Allied powers finally won. When the Allied powers won, it was not possible to identify who were the most powerful people. If you know about the history, you would know that when Germany was released, Germany was freed from the north and east, it was the Russians who came, and from the south and west, it was the Americans that came. So almost half of Germany was freed by the Russians and the rest half was freed by the Americans. When the war ended, it was really not possible to find out who were the powerful people. So in the world, everybody started talking about two superpowers. One was the USSR, which is today called Russia, or maybe something close to Russia, and the Americans, USA. So USA and USSR were the two superpowers that emerged out of this World War. Now, Americans wanted to say that we are better, the Russians wanted to say we are better. Now, if they would have done some research in medicine or agriculture or manufacturing, it would not have made much of a difference. What they did was they looked at the space program, and it was the Russians who first sent a spacecraft into the air, into the space. Now, space is something, anything beyond about 100 kilometers is called space, because that is beyond that 100 kilometers line, it is difficult to have an aeronautical flight. And it was Russians who did this first. And therefore, everybody in the world started talking about the power and the ability of Russians. It was the Russians who sent the first man into the space. The first astronaut in the world was somebody named Yuri Gagarin in 1961. He was the first person who went. Now you see what was happening in America. In America, everybody, including children, wanted to see that America is the most powerful country in the world. Everybody in that country wanted America to send a man into space. And that was the time a very charismatic, powerful, and visionary leader came to their, became the president of their country. So it was John F. Kennedy. And when John F. Kennedy came to know that the Russians are the ones who went to the space first, he said that I will put a man in space, in moon. America finally did it. But this book, Rocket Boys or October Sky, actually catches the imagination of the children of that time. Homer Hickam was a child who lived around that era, and this book talks about the amount of zeal that was there in a child to make sure that his country becomes first. He, in his childhood, he used to make rockets. We also have played with rockets in Diwali, something similar to that. So he would get some kind of, propellant, put it in a rocket, send it up in the air. He was able to send rockets up to 3 kilometers as a child. That much was the passion the children of America had around that time. And that is one of the reasons that America is a superpower. Why I'm telling you this is that in India, we also want our country to become great, our country to be called the superpower. And it has to start from the children. If children have that zeal, if children have that thought in their head that I must do something to make sure that my country reaches the pinnacle of the world, then only there can be a change. Finally, in 1969, it was the Americans who took a man from Earth and put him on moon. Neil Armstrong, you all would be knowing. And from that day onwards, the world started recognizing America as the superior of the superpowers. And today, history says that America finally came out as the only lone superpower in the world. It all starts with the children, right? Let me talk about why satellites or why space exploration. So I just told you that when the World War ended and when these two superpowers, USSR and USA, wanted to show their superiority, they did not spend as much amount of time and energy into agriculture or manufacturing or medicine or all those fields as much they spent it on satellite technology. I'll just come to that a little bit later, but I'll just give you a small glimpse of where all satellites are used. Now, if you remember, sometime in January 2020, that was just about an year and a half back, there was a man called General Soleimani who was killed in Iraq. Now, General Soleimani was an Iranian general, and Americans wanted to kill him for various reasons. So let us not talk about why he was killed and all. Let us look at the technology behind it. You know, this man landed in Iraq. He was coming out of the Baghdad airport, and suddenly a missile came and struck, and he was killed there. How did this happen? Now, this is the place where I would like to talk about the drone strike and the satellites. Everybody or all the newspapers say that it was a Predator which came, a Predator, and the later version is called a Reaper. So it was a Reaper unmanned combat aerial vehicle which came, and then it launched a rocket called a rocket which went and finally killed that man. So everybody was talking about the superiority of Predator and the Hellfire missile that it was carrying. You know what was more important? More important was that these drones are controlled through satellite links. If you go into the Google or the net and try to find out more about it, you would realize that the Predator was actually flying around Baghdad, and it was relaying all the photographs and information back to the president in Washington. And it was only after the clearance that came from the President of the United States of America that a Hellfire missile was launched. And this is only possible if you have satellite links. Just one of the examples. Let's go to some of the other uses. Good. So let me talk about the first use that you all may be aware of. Now, this is called the GPS. We all use GPS, right? And children of your age, you really do not know how to go to another place without a GPS. When we were small, I remember if you have to go to a new place, you would keep stopping your car and keep asking the passerby which way to go to so-and-so place. If you want to go to somebody's house, you would go to a nearby shop and ask, where is the house of Mr. So-and-so? Today, nobody does that. Why? Because we have a GPS in our mobile. Do you know that this GPS becomes possible because there's a constellation of satellites in the space? There are a lot of satellites which are giving that GPS information to the mobile. It's not just that mobile phone that comes into play here. It's those satellites, right? Okay, let's see the next use. Now, high resolution imaging. Now, this is an extremely important thing. We all might be thinking that imaging, taking pictures, may not be of great importance. No, high resolution imaging is extremely important in a lot of decision-making areas. I'll give you just one of the examples related to military. You know what? If you have to launch an attack on some place, the first thing that you need to know is the geography of that area. And in the olden times, we used to fly an aeroplane over the enemy territory, go to that place, take a picture and come back. Today, you don't have to do all that because we have got satellites high up in the air, which are continuously taking pictures of these places. If you look at the Google map, almost everything is available in the public domain. May not be a very high resolution stuff, but over a period of time, countries have developed their own satellite technologies for one simple reason, that we should have high resolution imaging of the enemy territory. It is not just enemy territory. I'm talking about enemy territory because maybe I am a soldier, but it is also useful in many other places. For example, night vision photography, the oceanographic surveys. Oceanographic surveys means, taking pictures and other electro-optical images of the ocean. It helps in a lot of ways. Ocean is, if you know, almost 2/3 of the Earth's surface is covered by oceans and water bodies. And oceans and water bodies contain a lot of resources, mineral resources, oil resources, food resources. Oceanographic survey helps in finding out where you can find that right resources. A simple thing is, even if you take some simple high resolution pictures of the ocean, you will be able to find where the schools of fish are. If you can give this information to the fisherman, it is very easy for him to go to that place, catch the fish. Otherwise, what do the fishermen do? They go based on their own guess. They will put the net, cast it, leave it for 24 hours, and after that, when they pull the net, maybe nothing is there. Imagine if they get this information, the amount of production that they can do and help the rest of the humanity with food. Simple example I'm telling. Otherwise, oceanographic survey is a huge subject in itself. Yes, geological survey, another great thing that satellites are helping in. If you take electro-optical surveys of land, you will be able to find out where the mineral deposits are lying. You will be able to find out where oil deposits are lying. You would also be able to find out where you have got some problems of earthquakes popping up or changes in the tectonic zones. Geological survey is another place where satellites are playing a lot of importance. DTH, very simple. Today you do not have cables coming to your home. Everybody puts a DTH antenna. This has become possible because there's a satellite in the air, right? Satellite phones, another use, good. Telemetry for medical purposes. I won't like to take much of your time. Let me talk once again about space exploration. And why do we talk about space exploration? And why do we want people to get into space exploration? One, it's the most challenging field of technology. It was not just like that Americans and Russians were trying to show their superiority in the space. They wanted to show because they knew that this is the field where the technology will be taken to its limits. Not just that, all the benefits that come out of this space technology can be translated to uses in the rest of the fields. If you know, when Dr. Kalam wrote a couple of books, so in his book, Igniting Young Minds, Wings of Fire, so in that book he says that titanium compounds were, as a material scientists of the ISRO developed this titanium compound, which was very light, and satellites need to be as light as possible. The same titanium compound was used in a medical field. These are very light, and therefore all the orthopedicians, the doctors who work with the bones, they use titanium compounds to put the rods and other material in your bones. Just one of the examples that the offshoot of the technology that we develop in the space field can be used in the rest of the technological spheres also. Now, what do this space exploration consist of? Let's talk a little bit about it. So before I get into that, just wanted to know, do you know in space exploration, in the space program, there are two separate things. One is called a rocket and another is called a payload. Anybody who can tell what is a payload? Anyone knows what is a payload on a space mission?
Dear student, you can reply to sir in the chat box and you can say him the answer. It's a very good question he has asked. So you can reply him in the chat box. Dear everyone, can you hear me? Please reply him in the chat box. Rahul Soni, please mute yourself. Rahul Soni.
Okay, fine. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm unable to look at my chat box when I'm sharing my screen. Great. So we have something called a rocket, and in the rocket, we put a payload and send it up. You know how the space exploration program starts? So, and this is very nicely written in Dr. Abdul Kalam's book. If you get hold of that book, please read it. It could be interesting. They send sounding rockets. These are just rockets that go from here up in the space, maybe around 10 kilometers up, and then they disappear. There is no question of recovering it back. It just falls back on Earth. While going, while going up in the air, it has got a payload. Payload means rocket is something which is just taking the payload to some place. That payload is just picking up some simple information like the temperature and the pressure of different levels of atmosphere. So you start with sounding rockets, then you start going further high, then you start putting payloads which are bigger, and then comes all the communication satellites, relays, satellites with electro-optical sensors and other sensors, right? Okay, so satellites are of different types. So you know, Moon is our natural satellite. We have got a lot of artificial satellites which are revolving around the Earth. Now, satellites which are low, which are close to the Earth are called low Earth satellites, low Earth orbit satellites. And the ones that go very far away, the farthest ones that revolve around the Earth are called the geostationary satellite. Now, geostationary satellites are the satellites that move at the speed of Earth's rotation. So therefore, the satellite, if it is right on top of Bangalore, it will remain on top of Bangalore all through. They are called geostationary satellites. Then there are, space exploration involves sending beyond the geostationary level. Now, geostationary level means it's about 38,000 kilometers. If you go beyond that, then there are missions which go into the moon. There are missions which go into the neighboring planets. They're called planetary missions. There are also missions which are going beyond the solar system. America has actually launched a satellite which has crossed this solar system and went away. These are all the different levels at which the space exploration can go. Good. So I would like to stop here. Just wanted to know, how many of you want to do something for the country? And before that, can anybody guess who is this person on the screen? A very famous person. Any guesses? Okay, he's Abhinav Bindra. He was the first person from India to go and win an individual gold medal in Olympic Games. So this was in 2008 when it was in the Olympic Games were being held in Beijing, and Abhinav Bindra won a gold. Why I'm showing his picture is because whenever I used to watch the Olympic Games on TV, what happens is whenever you win a medal, when the medal is given to you, behind that podium, you raise the national flag of the country to which those three people belong to. So when Abhinav Bindra was standing, it was the Indian flag that went up, something that we all felt proud of. Just want to know, do you think that you should do something for the country? Now it is very common that your school, your parents, your society, everybody will be talking about doing something for yourself. Become something, earn money. I'm not saying they are wrong, they're all good. But along with that, do you have an inclination or a spark or something in your blood which tells you that I must do something for my country? And if you have, let me just close this by saying that a couple of things which are needed. And it is needed from children of your age. Everybody would be saying that children are the future of the country. In fact, children are not just the future. If children don't look in this direction, the future of the country actually goes down. We all need to have nationalism. Nationalism is not talking about whether I'm a boy or a girl, whether I belong to this community or that community, whether I'm from a city or a village, whether I'm from this state or that state, what language I speak. Forget about all those things. First and foremost, I am an Indian. That is the kind of nationalistic feeling that we should have. And I must do something for the nation. The second important thing is, we should always have some attitude of service above selfishness. To do something for others, in addition to doing something for myself. So if I earn money for myself, it's good. But am I also doing something for others? This is called service. The third thing is called positive attitude. Because I have not included it today, I usually talk about positive attitude for some time. It is important to have a positive attitude. Look at things positively. This society will keep pumping a lot of negative things into you. If you look at the newspaper, you'll find always negative news. You need to have an ability to pick up the positive things out of it. Very important for not just an individual, but also for the nation. And the last thing is, the nation, your family, or you cannot do good unless you're a hard worker. You need to be hard worker as well as smart worker. Be smart and also do hard work. I will stop here. Thank you for your time, and back to Engineer Ravi Shankar. Thank you, children, for your patient listening.
Thank you so much, sir. Really, some things you have said, it was really inspiring that we should do something for the nation. Dear children, listen to sir. Sir was in Air Force and he has done a lot of work, great work for the country. And it's really amazing to always listen him. I always listen to him whenever he give a talk for IDBIM Foundation. Really give a lot of things you can learn in your life. Every workshop we talk about satellite and rocket, but sir talk about satellite and rocket, and he also talk about being an Indian, what we can do for the country. So that is the one thing always make difference of Wing Commander sir. So I always watch his whole speech while he is giving the talk. So yes, yes, ma'am. Dipti Bhadoria, ma'am, can you hear me? Hello, ma'am. Please unmute yourself, ma'am. Your mic is muted, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, I am audible.
You can talk about today's session. Today's session, ma'am. You can talk about today's session. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, good morning to all of you. Myself, Dr. Dipti Bhadoria, Chancellor of Virtual University of International Relationship, founder president of Vijay Tejaswini Foundation, as well as the principal of BCJ and Sanskar Bharti School. First, I would like to profound my heartiest thanks to Igniting team for inviting me for a wonderful session to learn about the space exploration, as we are learning and hearing about this space exploration, but did not have the much knowledge. So I am very grateful to Mr. Ravi Shankar ji for inviting me. And apart from that, I just want to give my best wishes to all the students who are participating in this session. Wonderful session. Not wasting the time, as I don't have much knowledge about the space exploration. I am excited to know about this. So I'm really very grateful to all of you. Thank you so much. My best wishes and regards for you. Thank you so much, Igniting Youth team, for inviting me. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, dear children, Saraswati ma'am, are you there? Saraswati ma'am? Anybody from Karnataka school available in the meeting? Any teachers, principal? Anyone from Karnataka school? Okay. Okay, fine. Yes. So, dear children, so sir, Wing Commander sir, what next we can do? You let me know. Are you will be available for another 5 to 10 minutes, or you will be leaving?
No, I will stay for some time in case you want to have some question answer session.
Yeah, dear children, you can ask the question to Wing Commander sir. He's with all of you. You can ask him the experiences, what he is learning, what he has done for India, being Air Force Wing Commander. You know, most of you will see in Bangalore. If you are from Karnataka, definitely in Bangalore, every morning the sound will come of Tejas aircraft and from HAL when he's flying the aircraft. So yeah, you can have a question regarding that also. You can ask him a question how to join Indian Air Force also, and you can ask him the question related to space technology also. So you have different choice. You can ask according to that. Yes.